Well, good Thursday afternoon, everyone. I'm meteorologist Bill Kelly. Want to give you an update as to what's going on. We do have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings as a storm is rolling past the Philadelphia area now and into sections, moving into Burlington County, really, but we're talking about Gloucester County and into Camden County as well. Brand new warning came up. That's for Burlington and Camden. It's pretty much out of Gloucester. I mean, there's the county line. Things are moving out. This one just popped in. It's up until 3:30. The one that is up north of this one, Evesham, of course, is in that as it extends across, probably up near Moorestown, places like that, certainly along the Jersey Turnpike and around 295. But these storms are moving from the west to the east at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. So what I want to do is kind of a reverse track. I want to show you when it will come to an end because there's a lot of rainfall out here. It's not an individual storm I can sample. So if I draw a line like this on the back edge of this and move it out at 25, I'm going to take it all the way through Burlington County for you. So you folks in Bristol, you have up here in Bucks County, you got about 306 is when you'll start to see this wind down or so. You got New Hanover at 346. Again, when the strongest part of the storm is going to end. Browns Mill 348, Jackson closer to about 418. Now behind it, we're watching it very closely. We do have a few storms that have generated and may develop here and there, but the strongest part of the storm right now is what I'm focused in on, and that's where we have the severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect, and it's these two right here. It is not a ton, but there's just enough energy out there that we're talking about the potential for winds to 60 miles per hour. We've been watching it very closely for a little spin. We're not seeing any of that, but it's certainly something that we're keeping a close eye on. And the reason for that is because we are in what's called the marginal risk from the Storm Prediction Center. And that was a fresh update this afternoon. And that is this shade of the green, the light green. And that means an isolated strong to severe storm possible in our area. And the Storm Prediction Center said there's enough energy out there that we could be talking about some isolated showers and storms. And so that is what they are watching in and around our area. Now, the bigger picture, if we go up here and we take you out, I want to show you how far down this stretch is. Let's go to the mid-Atlantic view, as it's called. And this goes down to the south. The strongest of this storm is going to be down in our southern zones, at least not our southern zones, but down through parts of North Carolina. We're watching it very closely. If there are any more warnings issued, we'll let you know. But we're going to be leading weather here at the top of the 4. We'll have more on that coming up in just a bit. Hey there, everybody. I'm meteorologist Bill Kelly. It is 3:13 here on this Thursday afternoon, and we're going to take a little time. We're interrupting programming because the National Weather Service has just issued a brand new tornado warning, and it is for a very small part here of Burlington County and a part of Ocean County. This is up until 3:30, as you can see. So we're going to look at this together. I want to show you on down. Let me zoom down. We do have a storm activity in our area, certainly have some heavy rain, but Hanover Furnace, you're in there. There's Browns Mill is on the tail end of that, and we'll go and look at this a little more in depth in just a moment. But Plumstead, that warning is just off to the south of your area. Midwood, you're in a part of this as well. Now we're pretty much into Ocean County here. As we zoom on down, I mean, we get super tight. We can go all the way down if we want to in parts of this area to show you right at the county line. In fact, we can go over and get a couple of streets on it. You can see for yourself here. Got Range Road is on the tail end, over Hanover Furnace. If you are in this, there's Lakeshore Drive on the backside of this, just to kind of paint the picture as to where we are. I mean, it is over a rural space, but if you are in this area, I want you to take your tornado precautions now. I want you to get in the center part of your house. Get in the basement if you have one, of course. That is the most safest place to be in a storm like that. If you don't have a basement, you want to get into the center part of the house, as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If you live or know somebody who is in a mobile home, for example, not a safe place to be. Got to get to some shelter. Anybody out and about driving around in this area? I mean, you're looking up to the north here. You got 195 just up to the north of this. So we're going to be tracking this storm moving up at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. Want you to be safe with storms like this. A lot of lightning with this as well. So let's look at what is called the velocity data and what the National Weather Service is seeing. And I can get you right down specifically this right here. And this is a pretty clear sign that there's definitely rotation. No doubt about that. And this would tell me that there's a high probability that there is a tornado with this storm. And I say that for a couple of reasons. Number one, I say it because of what I'm seeing on the radar, where you have these different colors. You have the green and you have the red. This is the map that shows storm movement. If you follow us here at CBS Philadelphia, we talk about this and we show you this map often when we're talking about tornado warnings. Hold on, just got an update from the National Weather Service. Let me see what they're saying there. As a flood advisory, and they're saying the radar has shown that the circulation has become better defined. We're talking about this right here. just northeast of Browns Mill in Burlington County, about to cross into Ocean County. This is the county line right here between Burlington and Ocean. So number one, we have great clear signs on this storm movement map where the radar is moving toward and away from the radar. If it's green, the winds are moving toward the radar, and you see this radar arm sweeping up. So it looks like this. Let me draw this on. So you have green. This is winds coming in toward the radar, coupled right next to the red, the bright red at that, which is a sign that the winds are going away from the radar. In fact, while we're looking at this, I'm going to put the severe outline so you can see within this box. The red lines that you see here is where the active tornado warning is in effect. This is where we're most likely seeing the tornado. So number one, the radar is showing this. The radar is looking like there's good rotation. In addition to that, this storm is very close to the radar itself. You can see the radar spinning around right here. Here's the actual radar site that is giving us the information for this particular storm. And when we look at this, and we look at simply the distance from this to the radar, you're talking just a few miles. 5 miles is what I'm picking out between the radar itself and where we're seeing a brand new scan. Let's put that on there. Brand new scan shows it. Yeah, this is definitely one, and I'm going to track this out for you. You certainly want to take this serious. This, to me, I think this is very clearly, there's a tornado with this, very clearly. It's not over a massively populated area, but you don't care if it's heading toward your house, right? So let's put this out. I'm going to track this out for you. So I'm going to drive this out a little farther, and I'm going to use our tool, make sure we're here hitting it out. I'm going to take it a little faster, maybe about 30 miles per hour, just to kind of get you ahead of this thing. And I'm going to track it right from here. We're going to draw this out and see if no towns of significance show up. That's good. So let me make it a little bit wider for you. I'm going to take it like this. Let me clear this off. And let me take a little bit of a wider shot and let me drape it out like this. And same thing, it's really not picking up much. So we do have a lot of open space, which is good, but there could be people out, there could be workers. If you know anybody in this area in Ocean County, and if you're just joining us here, let me widen this on out. We're covering the programming for those of you that are wondering why we're on the air, because we have an active tornado warning right now in Ocean County. The warning itself is for Burlington County, but the storm itself is now past the Burlington County line. We're talking strictly in Ocean County in terms of where the biggest threat is out of this particular storm. And when we zoom on down, I'm going to give you a bigger track on this actually. Let's go like this and draw this out. I'm going to take you beyond the warning. Let's take you all the way through, we're going to take this out through about 4 o'clock. So it's 3:18 right now. We are on the air because we have an active tornado for Burlington and more Ocean County too, if you guys in the booth want to update that on the crawl. So we're looking at Brindletown. Essentially now, 3:18. Collier's Mill, that's at 3:26. If you hear the sound of your town, this is an estimate as to when this storm is going to be over your area. If you know someone that lives here, help us be part of the coverage. Make the phone call. Maybe you have people that are out and about working in this area, south of 195, heading toward Route 9. Anywhere in Ocean County, maybe people are traveling. Maybe you got people going back and forth down the shore, that type of thing. Let them know that this is a very powerful storm, and this likely has a tornado with it. Certainly rotating winds, no question about that. Midwood, 3:32. You got Cassville at 3:36. Jackson at 3:44. You can see these as we're kind of tracking them out. Take it to Edgewood Park rather. That's around 3:55 p.m. And so that's what we're going to be watching. This storm, the language capable of producing a tornado, but I see it producing a tornado based on what I'm seeing. National Weather Service is saying circulation now heading toward Woodruff, New Jersey in Ocean County. So let's go down and get you another look at this. And I want to do something just slightly different here since we're going to stay on the air and cover it till this thread is over. Meteorologist Tammy Souza's here with us as well. We're watching this. It's not a widespread event that we're tracking, but we're definitely tracking this particular storm right here. So this to me is a very clear sign that there is a high probability that there is a tornado on the ground as we speak at this moment in this area. High probability based on these bright colors. Oh, and that's a brand new sweep. There you go. You can see how fast that it's moving there. So now it's moving a little bit to the north. And the way that it works, by the way, the radar sweeps around, gets information, tilts up, tilts up. The closer it is to the radar, the lower in the atmosphere you're looking. And when it's only 5 miles away from the radar, it's looking pretty close to the surface. If it's farther away, sometimes with the curvature of the earth, it will look a little higher up. But this definitely has some rotation right here, and I can give you some more. We're looking at, let me widen this out a little bit for you. We got Pinehurst Road is right here. So this is approaching Pinehurst Road and will be there probably within the next 2 minutes or so. Back over here, here's Swamp Road, just outside of Middletown. And what I wanted to show you is if I take off the radar, if we take this off, you can see underneath, you see kind of the color of the earth. This was over a lot of forested area, but it is moving towards some more populated regions as well, especially once it gets past this warning box. Let me put the sweeping radar back on for you, and it's this right here, this bright shade. This is where the active part of this storm is, as it's making its way up to the northeast. As I put this into motion, I'm going to continue to keep this product on here. This is what's called velocity, and you can see right there how these bright reds and bright greens are side by side, and that is what has prompted the National Weather Service to issue the tornado warning on this particular storm. I totally agree with the call. Totally agree. Tornado precautions, give you a fresh track for you, because this, again, once more, just south of Plumstead, you folks in Plumstead, you folks in Midwood, this is not Plumstead. You're far enough north away from this that you're okay. It's not gonna shift and just dive up to the north. But as we track this out, and I'm going to use a super fine track. I'm going to take it like this. Okay, this puts it in Jackson at 342. It is 322 right now, as I see it. Cassville 337, Wood Air Estates at 344. So National Weather Service is an update. They're going to continue it for Ocean County right here, which I totally agree with. They are canceling it for Burlington County, which I agree with as well. It's moved out of the county. Let me just see if there was a little extra information while we're looking at this. And there's a new sample here. I'm going to get you a fresh track. Widen this out, and let me clear this off. And let me give you. I'm gonna make it a bigger track. I'm not going to go get so tight on that. I'm going to sample out this whole area, and let's take it out. Let's take it out this far. So again, you can see your towns that are on here. You can see the times. If you know anybody, give them a call. If you're in any of these areas, Jackson, Cassville, Midwood, Collier Mills, take your tornado precautions. Basement if you have one, center part of the house. If you don't have a basement, if you are in a mobile home, you got to go get some shelter. If you know anybody that might be out and about, tell them to pull over at the nearest store, something that has some structure. Go inside, let this storm pass on by. At minimum, you got lightning and you have some very heavy rain, but there's definitely rotation and most likely a tornado. It is radar indicated from what I can see. So we'll watch that. They say a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. This is as of 3:21, so this is 3:23. This is 2 minutes, within the last 2 minutes. Moving to the northeast, 25, 30 miles per hour. We tracked it at 30, so that's exactly what we're tracking it as. It's radar indicated. Locations, Woodruff. That's what they have written on there. So Woodruff, you're in that as well. That's all they're saying about it. So, tornado warning, Ocean County. This is up until, at this point, they are going to keep this warning up until 3:30. Now, I will tell you, let me clear all this off the screen here. Farmingdale 410, Howell 403, Bennett's Mills 353. You are outside of the time where the warning is issued. Like we said, 3:30 is when the warning is issued. The warning expires, and this shows signs of improving. We'll dart off the air. If it continues, we'll most likely stay on it. And of course, folks in the booth and producers, you can talk to me and let me know of that as well. Ocean County technically is up into the New York City market, the New York television market. However, I know there are a lot of you who are watching this that either get us on the air in Ocean County from the Philadelphia television area, or we're going to stay on through 3:30, or you know people that are here, or you're going to be maybe traveling through this area. So it's kind of that when you get these counties that are close to one another in terms of television viewing areas, we like to err on the side of being there for you and going that extra mile, and not just because it cuts off one county, we're done. So we're going to stay on with this one for a little while more. All right, fresh update. If you're just joining us, we have a tornado warning that is in effect until 3:30 now, just for Ocean County. Here it is. It is a radar indicated tornado that has moved out of Burlington County. It's not the only place that we are dealing with storms. We also have severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect as well in our area. We have one that's down here to the south. This is for Burlington and Camden County. It's a severe thunderstorm. It is not a tornado warning. The tornado warning right now is the one that we've been talking about up for Ocean County. And this one is highly probable that it has a tornado on it or had a tornado on it. So let's go ahead and get a fresh look here. And the good news, I will say, for the overall area, it is a very compact zone, a polygon it's called. The National Weather Service has a very tight area where we have this tornado warning. This is not a huge, widespread region across the city of Philadelphia, for example, and I bring that up in terms of populated areas. Not a ton of population here. So I am talking specifically to you folks that live here in this box, in this area. There's Arches Corner, Cassville, Jackson, or any of you that have friends and family in this area, because this is our most important task that we do here at CBS News Philadelphia, is to help to keep you and your family safe, your property protected, all these things. There's a tornado warning. We take it very seriously, especially when the radar is showing a clear sign of a tornado. Now, this is some great news here. So this is the spin, what we're seeing. Now, this is a very different look than it was just a couple of minutes ago. If you've been with our coverage, I was telling you about how it looked like there was a clear tornado, and my experience tells me that there absolutely was a tornado. This looks better. This looks like now there's some rotation that's spinning around and that the storm hopefully potentially has dissipated. And let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. But still, let me give you a fresh track before I do that, because I like to continue to tell you where we are. Let me take it back to Jackson here, 344 in Jackson. Tammy, got something?
No, it's the rotation with all of that.
Yep.
It's beginning to weaken. Just as you said, at this point, the observation on the radar coming out of all the radars is that this is like elongating, it's spreading out.
Right.
And this is now beginning to weaken and kind of taper off.
Yep, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Thank you, Tammy Souza, for that. So what we were looking at, still just kind of track this out. Jackson at 344, Cassville 338, just giving you freshly updated times as it goes through. But here's what we're talking about, and I like seeing this. So this is now, this radar, what you're looking at, all these bright colors, you're going, what the heck am I seeing? So this is a radar that tells us the direction of the storm and the intensity of the storm. Green means the winds are moving toward the radar. Red means away from the radar. When you have a tornado, as you probably know, tornado is a rapidly spinning column of air, and when you see it like right there, that is are you seeing some of these, you looking back on this?
Yeah. I believe that the tornado warning for Ocean County has been expired.
Did they just expired it?
Yeah, but there was a funnel cloud that was reported near Browns Mills.
Yep.
In New Jersey. So the funnel cloud was reported, but now the tornado warning has expired. Excellent.
Thank you so much. So yeah, their National Weather Service is seeing exactly what we're seeing. And by expired, what that means is the warning is set to expire at 3:30, and they're going to let it do that. Yep. So there you go. The tornado warning has expired. I agree with that call. This was earlier. Very clear rotation on the ground, and now things are starting to calm down. There's still severe thunderstorms. There's still active weather. Weather is our lead at 4 o'clock. If there's another warning, we'll let you know. Otherwise, Tammy and I and the team here at CBS News Philadelphia will see you back here in a half an hour. Be safe.